Why does she test you? Is it a power move, a game, or something deeper? Here's the truth most men don't understand. Not all tests are toxic, and not all women testing you are trying to manipulate you. Some are searching for strength, your strength. They're not just testing you to push you away. They're testing to see if you're the man she can trust to lead. But how do you know the difference? How do you spot the ones worth your time from the ones who are playing games? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will not only change how you see women, but how you see yourself. Let's start with a hard truth. Women test men. It's wired into them. But this isn't just about games or manipulation. The tests we're talking about aren't the toxic mind games you might have heard about. This isn't about women who thrive on drama or those who enjoy breaking men down for sport. No, the women we're talking about here are testing for a reason. They're looking for strength, stability, and leadership. They're testing to see if you're the man who can stand firm when everything around them feels chaotic. These are the tests that, when you pass, earn their respect and admiration. But how do you differentiate? How do you know if her tests are coming from a place of respect or toxicity? It starts by looking at her intent. A woman testing you to gauge your emotional strength and ability to lead is different from a woman testing you out of insecurity or spite. A toxic test might look like constant accusations, unreasonable demands, or behavior designed to provoke jealousy and chaos. That's not the kind of test you should entertain. Walk away from that. But a reasonable test, that's different. Imagine she sends you a text that says, "Hey, I don't know if this is working." She's not trying to tear you down. She's looking for a reaction. She wants to know if you'll stay calm, collected, and composed under pressure. Or maybe she posts a picture of herself looking great on social media. She's not necessarily trying to bait you into jealousy. She's observing if you'll remain grounded and focused on your goals instead of chasing her validation. She might suddenly ask you, "What are we doing here? Where is this going?" This isn't about creating drama. It's about seeing if you have the clarity and confidence to lead the relationship without crumbling under pressure. The key is to recognize her intent. Toxic women test to control you. Reasonable women test to confirm you. When you can tell the difference, you not only gain clarity about her, but you also gain clarity about yourself. You realize that passing these tests isn't about proving your worth to her, it's about proving it to yourself. What you'll learn in this video will do more than help you navigate her tests. It will help you rise above them, turning every challenge into an opportunity to show her and yourself the kind of man you are. Because at the end of the day, the only way to lead is by being unshakable, unbothered, and unapologetically in control of your own life. Stay with me till the end, because we're going deeper into understanding why she tests, how to respond, and how to tell if she's the kind of woman who deserves your time. Let's begin. Number 1. The psychology of no contact. When you go silent, something profound happens. It's not just about you stopping communication. It's a tectonic shift in power, a disruption in the dynamic she thought was unshakable. Women are wired to thrive in environments where they control the narrative. From the moment she first caught your eye, she's been operating within a structure that allows her to measure your interest, your attention, and ultimately your commitment. She knows how to play the game, and for the longest time, most men let her dictate the rules. But you're not most men. When you stop reaching out, you tear that structure down. It's not just about her missing your texts or your calls. It's about her losing control of something she thought was hers. You become a mystery. And let me tell you, there's nothing more unsettling to a woman than a man she can't figure out. Modern relationships are built on predictability. She knows what to expect from most men. They'll chase, they'll beg, they'll fold at the slightest sign of resistance. But when you disappear, when you withdraw your attention, she's left scrambling. This isn't just about her curiosity. This isn't some harmless reaction to change. This is psychological warfare, and you've flipped the battlefield. Women, by nature, are drawn to strength. They may never admit it, but every test, every game, every moment of silence is her way of asking, "Are you strong enough for me? Can you handle the chaos I bring into your life? Are you man enough to keep me grounded when I feel like everything around me is falling apart?" And the way you answer isn't through words, it's through your actions. Your silence forces her to confront the one thing she avoids at all costs: herself. She's used to men who validate her, who smooth over her insecurities, who make her feel like she's always in control. But your silence, it's a mirror, and what she sees reflected back is a woman unsure of her own power, her own worth. She'll start to question everything. Why hasn't he called? Does he not care? Did I push him too far? Is he moving on? These questions aren't born out of love or longing. They're born out of a need to regain the upper hand. Women operate on emotion. It's their strength, and it's their vulnerability. Your absence disrupts her emotional equilibrium. It's like pulling the rug out from under her. She spent so much time building a version of you in her mind, a man who's always there, always available, always predictable, and when you go silent, you shatter that illusion. Now, she has to deal with the reality of a man she can't control, a man who values himself enough to walk away, a man who refuses to play by her rules. But let's get deeper. This isn't just about her wanting to pull you back in. This is about survival. Women have evolved to test men. It's biological. It's ingrained in their DNA. They need to know that the man they're with can handle pressure, can remain unshaken in the face of challenges, can stand tall when everything else is falling apart. When you go silent, you're not just testing her patience, you're proving your strength. And make no mistake, she feels it. She'll try to rationalize your silence. She'll tell herself that you're just playing hard to get, that you'll eventually come crawling back, that you're no different from every other man who couldn't resist her pull. But as the days turn into weeks, as your silence stretches on, that confidence starts to waver. Doubt creeps in, and that doubt is your power. She'll test you because she needs to know if you're the man she can respect. Women don't respect men who chase. They don't respect men who fold. They respect men who stand firm, men who know their worth, men who are willing to walk away without looking back. Your silence isn't just a strategy, it's a statement. It's you saying, "I'm not here to prove myself to you. I'm here to live my life on my terms. Take it or leave it." But let's talk about why this works. Women are surrounded by men who are desperate for their attention. Social media, dating apps, constant validation. It's all noise. And in that noise, your silence becomes deafening. It's the absence of your attention that makes her notice you. It's the fact that you're not playing the game that makes her want to know more. Because deep down, every woman wants a man who can rise above the noise, who can stand apart from the crowd, who can make her feel something she hasn't felt before: uncertainty. Uncertainty is the key to attraction. It's what keeps her up at night, wondering why you haven't called, why you haven't reached out, why you seem so unbothered. And that uncertainty, it's intoxicating, it's addictive. It's what separates you from every other man who's ever chased her. But let me be clear, this isn't about manipulation. This isn't about playing games. This is about reclaiming your power as a man. Women respect strength. They crave it. And when you go silent, when you refuse to chase, when you stand firm in your own worth, you embody the very strength they're drawn to. You become the man they can't stop thinking about, the man they can't control, the man they respect. The next time you're tempted to break the silence, to send that text, to reach out and try to explain yourself, remember this. Your silence is your strength. It's your weapon. It's the one thing that sets you apart in a world full of men who don't know their worth. And when she tests you, and she will, you'll know exactly why. It's because she sees something in you that she doesn't see in anyone else. It's because she knows deep down that you're not like most men. You're different. You're stronger. You're the man who doesn't just pass her tests, you redefine them. Number 2, the types of tests she'll throw your way. When she tests you, it's not by accident. Women don't wake up one day and decide, today I'll mess with his mind. No, it's deeper, far more intentional, and far more calculating than you might think. Female psychology operates on a different wavelength. While men value directness and clarity, women thrive on subtleties, reading between the lines, and probing for emotional responses. Every test she throws at you has one goal: to reveal your true nature. Are you weak, or are you strong? Are you like the rest, or are you the man who stands apart? She might not even consciously realize she's doing it, but every move she makes is designed to answer that question. When you've gone silent, when you've pulled back your energy, you've disrupted the flow of her control. Now she's left to wonder, what's he doing? Why hasn't he reached out? Is he thinking about me? Has he found someone else? But she's not going to ask you these questions outright. That would expose her vulnerability. Instead, she'll test you, and these tests won't be random. Each one is precise, deliberate, and calculated to provoke a response. The "Hey stranger" text might seem innocent, but it's a psychological probe. She wants to know if you're still emotionally available. Most men fail here because they see this as an opportunity to re-engage, to pour out everything they've been holding back. They'll respond too quickly, too eagerly, with a long, emotionally charged reply, thinking that's what she wants. But she doesn't want your words. She wants your strength. Responding in a calm, confident, and controlled manner sends a message she can't ignore. You're not the man she used to control. Then there's the social media test. Modern relationships have given her a new weapon, a platform to display her life in a way that's designed to get under your skin. She'll start liking your posts, viewing your stories, and maybe even commenting in a way that seems friendly. But it's not friendly, it's strategic. She's creating a breadcrumb trail, inviting you to follow. And if that doesn't work, she'll escalate. Suddenly, she's posting pictures that scream for your attention, out with friends, dressed to kill, or even worse, with another guy. She wants to provoke you. She wants you to react. She wants to see if you'll break your silence and reveal your emotions. But a man who understands his value doesn't play these games. He doesn't double-tap her photos, doesn't slide into her DMs, doesn't give her the validation she's fishing for. He stays silent, and that silence speaks louder than any comment ever could. The nostalgia test is one of her most powerful weapons. She'll reach out with a message that's designed to pull at your heartstrings, something like, "Remember that time we laughed so hard we couldn't breathe?" It's not about the memory, it's about seeing if you're still emotionally tethered to her. She knows that most men can't resist the pull of nostalgia. They'll jump at the chance to reminisce, to relive those moments, to reconnect. But when you respond with indifference, with a polite yet distant acknowledgement of the past, you're sending a clear message. You've moved on. You're not living in the past. You're focused on the future, a future where she's no longer the center of your world. And then there's the vulnerability trap. She'll send a message that seems sincere, heartfelt, and deeply personal. Something like, "I've been feeling so lost lately." This isn't just a test of your emotional availability, it's a test of your boundaries. She wants to know if you'll rush to her rescue, if you'll drop everything to be her savior, if you're still the man who puts her needs above your own. Most men would take the bait. They'd see this as their chance to show her how much they care, to prove their worth through their willingness to fix her problems. But a high-value man doesn't fall into this trap. He understands that her emotional struggles are hers to navigate. He can offer empathy, yes, but he doesn't sacrifice his own peace for her chaos. He remains steady, unshaken, and grounded in his own path. Each of these tests is a challenge, a gauntlet she throws down to see what you're made of. They're not random. They're deliberate, calculated moves designed to reveal your weaknesses. But here's the truth she doesn't want you to know. Every test she throws at you is also an opportunity. An opportunity to show her that you're not like the rest, that you're a man who knows his worth, a man who doesn't need her validation, a man who stands firm in his own power. The reason most men fail these tests isn't because they're not good enough. It's because they don't understand the rules of the game. They don't see these tests for what they really are. A woman's way of saying, "Prove to me that you're strong enough to handle me. Show me that you're not like the others." And the way you prove it isn't by chasing her, by reacting emotionally, by giving her the attention she's fishing for. You prove it by staying composed, by maintaining your boundaries, by showing her that you're a man who doesn't crumble under pressure. When you pass her tests, you're not just earning her respect, you're redefining how she sees you. You're showing her that you're not the man who will fold at the first sign of resistance. You're the man who stands tall, who remains calm, who knows his value, and refuses to compromise it for anyone. And that's the kind of man she can't ignore. But let me be clear, passing her tests isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate her. It's about being authentic, about staying true to yourself, about living your life on your own terms. When you do that, when you refuse to let her tests dictate your actions, you become the man she can't stop thinking about, the man she can't figure out, the man she respects. And in today's world, respect is the foundation of any meaningful connection. Without it, there's nothing. With it, there's everything. So when she tests you, don't see it as a challenge to your worth. See it as an opportunity to show her and yourself just how strong you really are. Number 3. Stoic response strategies. Passing her tests isn't just about winning her respect. It's about showing yourself who you truly are. Every move you make, every word you say, every moment you hold your composure is a declaration of your strength. Women test because they want to know if the man standing in front of them is solid or shaky. She's not looking for just any man. She's looking for the man who can handle her, her emotions, and the storms she'll inevitably bring. Your response to her tests is what separates you from the masses, from the men who crumble, from the men she forgets. You're not one of them, and every time you respond like a Stoic, you prove it. When she sends you a vague text like, "Hey," it's not just a greeting, it's a probe. She's trying to see if you're still waiting in the wings, ready to jump at the chance to talk to her. Most men fall into the trap. They respond immediately, their excitement bleeding through every word, but not you. You know better. You understand that her message isn't about reconnecting, it's about control. Your response, or lack of one, needs to communicate that you're not playing her game. A calm, measured reply like, "Hey, I've been focused on my goals lately. Hope you're doing well," is enough. Short, confident, and detached. You've acknowledged her without giving her power. When she starts liking your posts or viewing your stories, she's not just browsing casually. She's creating a trail, leaving digital breadcrumbs to see if you'll pick them up. Most men would take this as a sign to engage, to reach out, to spark a conversation. But you know better. You understand that silence in the face of her attention-seeking is far more powerful than any comment or message. You don't need to respond because you're not seeking her validation. Your lack of reaction sends a message she can't ignore. You're focused, unbothered, and in control. When she posts a picture with another guy or shares a story designed to provoke jealousy, it's a trap. She's testing your emotional stability, your ability to remain calm under pressure. Most men would react with anger, confrontation, or even passive-aggressive behavior. But not you. You're a Stoic. You understand that her actions are a reflection of her own insecurities, not your worth. You don't engage. You don't react. You continue to focus on your own path, knowing that true strength comes from within, not from the validation or attention of others. When she reaches out with a deeply personal message, something like, "I've been feeling so lost lately," it's a direct challenge to your boundaries. She wants to see if you'll drop everything to be her emotional support. Most men would rush to her side, eager to prove their value by solving her problems. But you're different. You recognize that while empathy is important, your primary responsibility is to yourself. You can acknowledge her feelings without becoming entangled in them. A response like, "I'm sorry to hear that. I'm confident you'll find your way," is supportive yet detached. You're offering her encouragement without sacrificing your peace. Your responses aren't just about passing her tests, they're about reinforcing your own value. Every time you remain calm, every time you set a boundary, every time you choose composure over chaos, you're showing her and yourself that you're a man of substance. Women are drawn to men who are steady, who don't waver, who don't let their emotions dictate their actions. When you embody these qualities, you become magnetic. In modern relationships, the Stoic man is rare. He's the man who doesn't seek validation, who doesn't chase, who doesn't fold under pressure. He's the man who leads with his actions, who commands respect without demanding it. Women recognize this, even if they don't fully understand it. When you respond to her tests with strength and composure, you're showing her that you're not just another man seeking her approval. You're showing her that you're the man who sets the standard. But let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation. It's not about playing games or trying to outsmart her. It's about living authentically, about staying true to your values, about being the man you were meant to be. When you respond like a Stoic, you're not just winning her respect. You're building a foundation for a relationship based on mutual respect and admiration. Your ability to remain calm under pressure, to set boundaries, to focus on your own growth, is what sets you apart. Most men react. Most men chase. Most men let their emotions control them. But you're not most men. You're the man who understands that her tests are opportunities, not threats. Opportunities to prove your strength, to reinforce your value, to show her and yourself that you're unshakable. Every time you pass a test, you're not just earning her respect, you're deepening your own. You're becoming the man who doesn't need external validation, who doesn't let others dictate his worth, who lives his life on his own terms. And that's the kind of man who commands respect, who inspires admiration, who builds connections that last. When you respond like a Stoic, you're not just passing her tests. You're setting the standard for how she should treat you. You're showing her that you're a man of value, a man of substance, a man who knows his worth. And in a world full of men who don't, that makes you unforgettable. So the next time she tests you, don't see it as a challenge to your worth. See it as an opportunity to show her who you really are, a man who's strong, composed, and unapologetically himself. That's the man she can't ignore. That's the man she respects. That's the man who wins. Number 4. Turning tests into opportunities. Every test she throws at you is an opportunity, not a threat. The problem is, most men don't see it that way. They get defensive. They react emotionally. They think her tests are a sign of manipulation or disrespect. But a man who understands female psychology knows better. Her tests are not about bringing you down. They're about seeing if you can rise above. They're about challenging your strength, your confidence, and your ability to lead. And the truth is, the man who can turn her tests into opportunities is the man she'll respect, desire, and never forget. When a woman tests you, she's not looking for a quick reaction. She's looking for a deeper answer. She wants to know if you can handle the fire she's throwing at you without getting burned. She wants to know if you'll stay grounded when the ground beneath you starts to shake. Women are drawn to men who are unshakable, who don't flinch under pressure, who stand firm no matter how chaotic the situation becomes. That's what her tests are about, proving to her that you're that man. Most men fail these tests because they don't understand what's at stake. They think it's about proving their love, their loyalty, or their ability to be there for her. But it's not about that. It's about proving your strength. It's about showing her that you don't need her validation to feel good about yourself. It's about demonstrating that you're a man who can lead, who can set boundaries, who can walk away if necessary. That's the kind of man women respect. That's the kind of man they want to follow. Imagine she sends you a cryptic text like, "I'm not sure what I'm feeling right now." Most men would panic. They'd start analyzing every word, trying to figure out what they did wrong, trying to fix the situation. But a man who sees the opportunity in her test doesn't do that. He doesn't let her words shake him. He responds with calmness, with confidence, with clarity. He might say something like, "Take your time to figure it out. I'm here if you need to talk." He's not dismissing her emotions, but he's also not making them his responsibility. He's showing her that he can support her without losing himself. When she tries to make you jealous, posting pictures with another guy, mentioning how much fun she had with someone else, most men would fall into the trap. They'd start comparing themselves, getting angry, trying to prove their worth. But a man who understands the opportunity in her test doesn't engage. He doesn't let jealousy control him. He knows that her actions are about her, not him. He stays focused on his own path, his own goals, his own value. And that calm, unbothered energy is what makes her second-guess her actions. It's what makes her realize that you're not like the other men who crumble under the weight of their emotions. When she throws a test at you, it's not a time to react, it's a time to rise. It's a time to show her that you're not playing by her rules, but by your own. Women respect men who set the tone, who lead with strength and conviction, who don't bend to the whims of others. They respect men who can take their tests and turn them into moments of clarity and confidence. That's the opportunity her tests give you, a chance to prove that you're not like the rest. Modern relationships are full of distractions, full of noise, full of men who are desperate for attention and validation. But you're not one of those men. You're the man who knows that silence is more powerful than words, that composure is more attractive than chaos, that self-respect is more valuable than her approval. Every time she tests you, she's giving you a chance to showcase those qualities. She's giving you a chance to stand out in a world full of men who blend in. The opportunity in her tests isn't just about earning her respect, it's about earning your own. It's about proving to yourself that you can handle pressure, that you can stay true to your values, that you can lead without needing anyone's permission. It's about becoming the kind of man you've always wanted to be. Her tests are a mirror, reflecting back your strengths and your weaknesses. And when you use them as opportunities for growth, you're not just passing the test, you're evolving into the man you were meant to be. Think about this. Every test she gives you is a moment to redefine how she sees you. When you respond with confidence, with clarity, with strength, you're showing her that you're a man who doesn't just react, you lead. You're showing her that you're a man who doesn't crumble under pressure, who doesn't lose himself in the chaos of her emotions, who doesn't play games. And that's the kind of man who earns respect, who inspires loyalty, who commands admiration. Turning her tests into opportunities means shifting your perspective. It means seeing her actions not as challenges to your worth, but as chances to prove your strength. It means staying grounded when she's trying to shake you, staying calm when she's trying to provoke you, staying focused when she's trying to distract you. It means leading with your actions, not your emotions. It means showing her that you're not just any man, you're the man. And when you become that man, everything changes. Her tests stop feeling like obstacles and start feeling like stepping stones. You stop worrying about what she thinks and start focusing on what you know about yourself. You stop reacting to her actions and start responding with intention. You stop seeking her approval and start earning her respect. That's the power of turning her tests into opportunities. That's the power of being a man who leads with strength, who lives with purpose, who embodies the qualities that women admire and desire. Every test she throws at you is a chance to rise above, to stand out, to show her that you're not like the rest. It's a chance to prove your strength, your confidence, your composure. It's a chance to become the man she can't ignore, the man she respects, the man she wants to follow. And when you embrace those opportunities, you're not just passing her tests. You're becoming the man who sets the standard, who leads the way, who redefines what it means to be strong, confident, and unapologetically yourself. Number 5. Why her tests are an opportunity, not a threat. Her tests aren't there to break you, they're there to reveal you. Women test men because, deep down, they want to know if you're the kind of man who can handle life, handle pressure, and handle them. Her tests are not an attack on your masculinity. They are a challenge to see if you are everything you claim to be. And here's where most men fail. They take these tests personally, as if she's trying to undermine them or make them feel small. But the truth is, her tests are a sign of interest. They are a signal that she sees potential in you, and she's trying to figure out if you're worth the investment of her time, energy, and emotions. When a woman tests you, it's because she's searching for proof of your strength. She's looking to see if you are solid, if you can handle her emotional complexities, if you have the backbone to stand firm in your values. Women are not interested in men who are easily swayed, who crumble under pressure, or who react emotionally at every turn. They want a man who can be a rock, unshaken, unbothered, and unyielding. Her tests are her way of finding out if you are that man. Most men misunderstand this dynamic because they've been conditioned to believe that relationships should be easy, that women should always be straightforward, and that love means constant reassurance and validation. But that's not how it works. Women respect men who challenge them, who stand firm in their own power, and who don't compromise their integrity to gain approval. When she tests you, she's giving you an opportunity to show her that you are that man. It's not a threat to your masculinity, it's a chance to prove it. Think about this. If she didn't care, she wouldn't test you. If you were irrelevant to her, she wouldn't bother trying to gauge your strength. Her tests are a reflection of her interest, her curiosity, her desire to see what you're made of. And every time you pass one of her tests, you're not just earning her respect, you're deepening her attraction to you. Women are drawn to men who can handle them, who can match their energy, who can provide a sense of stability in a world that often feels chaotic. Her tests are her way of asking, can you handle me? Are you strong enough to lead? Can I trust you to stand firm when everything else feels uncertain? Most men fail these tests because they react emotionally. They get defensive, they argue, they try to prove themselves through words instead of actions. But the man who understands the power of her tests knows that the best response is no response at all. He knows that his strength isn't in his ability to explain himself, it's in his ability to remain calm, composed, and confident. He doesn't let her tests rattle him because he knows who he is, and he doesn't need her validation to feel secure in his masculinity. When she throws a test your way, it's not about winning or losing, it's about how you handle yourself in the moment. Do you stay grounded, or do you let her words or actions pull you off balance? Do you maintain your frame, or do you let her provoke an emotional reaction? These are the questions she's trying to answer, and your actions will tell her everything she needs to know. A man who can turn her tests into opportunities is a man who understands the game. He knows that her tests are not obstacles, they are stepping stones. They are moments that allow him to demonstrate his strength, his resolve, and his value. Women are wired to test men because it's how they determine if you are the real deal. They need to know if you can handle their highs and lows, their emotions, their insecurities. They need to know if you are a man who can lead, who can protect, who can provide. Her tests are not about making your life difficult. They are about ensuring that you are strong enough to stand by her side. And when you pass those tests, when you rise above the noise and show her that you are unshakable, you become the man she can't ignore. Modern relationships are full of distractions, full of men who are desperate for attention, validation, and approval. But you're not one of those men. You're the man who understands that his worth isn't determined by a woman's opinion of him. You're the man who knows that his value comes from within, from his ability to lead, to stay focused, to remain calm under pressure. Her tests are an opportunity for you to show her that you are not like the rest, that you are a man of substance, a man of integrity, a man who knows his worth. When you embrace her tests as opportunities, you shift the entire dynamic of the relationship. You stop reacting to her actions and start leading with your own. You stop seeking her approval and start earning her respect. You stop letting her emotions dictate your actions and start showing her that you are the kind of man who can handle anything she throws your way. That's the power of seeing her tests for what they really are. Opportunities to rise, to lead, to prove that you are the man she's been searching for. Every test she throws at you is a chance to showcase your strength, your confidence, your composure. It's a chance to demonstrate that you are not just another man who will fold under pressure. You are the man who stands tall, who remains calm, who leads with purpose. And when you become that man, you don't just pass her tests. You redefine the relationship. You set the standard. You show her that you are not just a man she can respect, but a man she can trust, admire, and follow. Her tests are not a threat to your masculinity. They are an invitation to step into it fully. They are an opportunity to show her and yourself that you are the kind of man who doesn't just survive the challenges of life, but thrives in them. So, the next time she tests you, don't see it as an attack. See it as a moment to rise, to lead, to prove that you are everything she's been looking for and more. That's the man who wins. That's the man who commands respect. That's the man who turns every test into an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and unshakably himself. So, why does she test you? Because deep down, every woman wants to know if you're the man who can rise above the noise and who can lead with confidence and clarity. But here's what sets you apart. You now understand the game. You know that not all tests are created equal. You can spot the difference between a toxic woman trying to control you and a high-value woman searching for strength in you. And you're no longer the man who crumbles under pressure or reacts emotionally. You're the man who stands firm, who values himself above all, and who leads with purpose. These tests are not obstacles, they're opportunities. Each one is a chance to prove to yourself that you're unshakable, that you're grounded in your own value, and that you don't need to chase, beg, or prove your worth to anyone. A high-value man doesn't get flustered by a woman's tests. He welcomes them as a chance to reinforce his own standards. That's who you are now, the man who commands respect, who demands admiration, and who sets the tone in every interaction. If this resonated with you, if you're ready to step into the role of the man you were always meant to be, then here's what I want you to do. Comment below with this powerful statement: I'm unshakable. Let the world know that you're not just another man. You're a man who leads, who rises above, and who demands respect. Also, hit that subscribe button right now. Why? Because this isn't just about watching a video. It's about transforming your mindset and becoming the man who doesn't just survive the challenges of modern relationships, but thrives in them. Subscribing helps this message reach more men who need to hear it, and it ensures you never miss the tools, strategies, and truths that will elevate your life.